us who are parents, particularly parents of young kids, you couldn't help it. But instead, he didn't. Instead, President Obama and Senate Democrats cynically used the tragedy at Newtown to try to push a legislative agenda to restrict the right to keep and bear arms of law-abiding citizens. I think that was wrong and it was a mistake, and I helped lead the fight to stop President Obama's efforts to take away our right to keep and bear arms. Now, I would note a critical piece of defeating that was that I joined with Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley in drafting what became known as the law enforcement alternative. Grassley-Cruz was the legislation. It was comprehensive gun legislation, but unlike President Obama's, it wasn't targeted at law-abiding citizens. It was targeted at bad guys. So, for example, under President Obama, roughly 50,000 felons and fugitives had attempted to illegally buy firearms, had come in as licensed gun dealers, had tried to buy firearms, and yet had disclosed they were felons, they were fugitives. And of those, and this was, I believe, the 2010 year, the Obama administration had only prosecuted 44. 44 out of, I believe, 54,000, although we'll double check on those stats, but I believe it's 44 out of 54,000. Now, in my view, that's totally unacceptable. If you have a violent felon, if you have a fugitive who's trying to illegally buy guns, we should come down on them like a ton of bricks. I want to know if they're murderers and rapists, they're coming in trying to get guns, we ought to go and stop them. And yet the Obama administration prosecuted 44 out of 54,000 felons and fugitives illegally trying to buy guns. Likewise, under President Obama, the prosecution of violent gun crimes dropped dramatically from the Bush administration. The Bush administration created what was known as Project Exile, targeting violent gun felons. If you use a gun in a violent crime, we will come down on you like a ton of bricks. The Obama Justice Department devoted far less time and energy to